How's it going, everybody? Welcome to We Do Tech, and today we don't really have a review or anything. Instead, we have this little PC here that ASUS of Africa and Seagate is holding a competition on, where one lucky person who entered their Power of 4 Tough PC competition will actually win this PC, and yeah, it is actually pretty good. But now, before ASUS actually sends this PC off to the lucky winner, they send it over here for me to try it out, benchmark it, and see what the winner will get out of this bad boy. Now, the main feature of this PC has to be the new B550M TUF board from ASUS, and then also the Seagate FireCuda 512. Now, the reason why this is the main feature is because the new B550 platform does support PCI Express 4.0 ports, and of course this one is a new PCI Express 4.0 NVMe SSD that does reach speeds up to 5 gigabytes per second. So yeah, it is quite quick. But just before we get into the benchmarks and see how this little puppy performs, let's go over all of the rest of the parts. So we do have our main SSD again, the FireCuda 512 from Seagate, 1 terabyte, which is really nice. But also for your storage, you do have a IronWolf 4 terabyte mechanical hard drive installed as well. So storage is not going to be a problem. Paired up with the ASUS TUF B550M motherboard, you're also going to get the newish Ryzen 5 3600X, a 6-core 12-thread, very nice CPU. And of course, we are going to overclock it a bit because the B550 platform does support that. It is an X, so we're not just going to stick with the standard clock speeds. But as for the cooler, to keep the CPU cool, we do have the CoolerMaster HyperX 410R. Now, it's not the biggest CPU cooler, but it actually performs decently well, which you guys will see once we take a look at some of the thermal tests as well. Next up, for your memory, we do have the Kingston HyperX Fury memory. We have an 8 gig module running at 2666 megahertz. So you do have plenty of options if you want to upgrade memory as well. There's an extra 3 open memory DIMMs. So you do have that. GPU wise, we do have the ASUS TUF as well, RX 5600 XT. And it's actually quite a big GPU. It's the first time seeing it as well. And it takes up 2.5 of your PCI Express slots here. So it's pretty big. So cooling isn't really gonna be a problem here with its 3 fans, but we're gonna get into how it actually performs a bit later and also overclock it a bit as well. Then next up for our power supply, we have the CoolerMaster MWE 550. It's a 550 watt, and it should be enough for all of the parts here because yeah, it is. So we have our power supply, and then finally we get into the case. So this is the ASUS TUF GT301 case that does have 4 included 220mm fans, 3 at the front, which is addressable RGB fans, and also a single one here at the back, which is currently off. So that's pretty much it for all of the parts that you get inside the system. And I'm also just going to leave the pill to the lucky winner as well. I'm not going to take that away from the person. So they'll be able to do that. But now let's quickly just do some stock benchmarks, run some Cinebench, some 3D Mark and so on, and see how the system performs. And then we're going to overclock it a bit and see what you can really get out of the system. All right, so first up, we have some Cinebench R20, which we're gonna try out. Now, everything is hit on stock settings. Haven't overclocked anything yet. So let's quickly check out the speed that we're gonna get on this. And then of course, again, we're going to overclock it and see actually what we're going to get. So it's boosting up to around a 4.1 gigahertz on all 6 cores. And then the temperatures is currently running at around 70 degrees. Now, all of the fans aren't set at max speed yet, so we can do that to boost it up a bit more. I also did open it up just so you guys can see a bit better now, but later on for the full benchmark, that thermal benchmark, we are going to put everything back on and also put the back fan on as well. Okay, so for our final score, we have 3,574 points on R20. Next up, let's quickly open up 3D Mark and run some Firestrike. All right, so for our final run, we have again the GPU running at 1,600 megahertz on the core clock and around 52-ish degrees. CPU wise, around 4.2 gigahertz, 4.3 gigahertz, around there. So let's quickly check our final score. So score-wise, we have 17,215 graphics card. We have 20,028, 19,005 on physics, and then combined 7,844. So now let's quickly check out the BIOS, overclock the CPU a bit, and then also the GPU, and then rerun those tests, and then also do some game benchmarks to see what you'll be able to get with the system. So, all right. Advanced mode. We have it on 4.1 there. Let's make it 4.4. And then for our clocks, voltage 1.375. Let's go for there. Well, we'll see if that works. It's not maybe like I actually did this beforehand, actually benchmarked everything and make sure everything was stable. It's definitely like not like I did that. All right, so for our clock again, we have 2666 megahertz on our memory, 4.4 gigahertz on our CPU, and then at 1.375 volts. Then for the person who actually gets the system, you do actually already have that as OC1 if you just want to apply that. I've benchmarked it so far, and did I? No, I haven't benchmarked it yet. It's entirely new, but yeah, it is there if you want to use that as well. Then as for our GPU, we already have that, so it's 100 megahertz to the core, it's around 62 to the voltage, and around 500 towards the memory clock speed. So we're just going to apply that. And now let's redo everything. Oh, and we can maybe just apply some full fan speeds as well for everything. So Cinebench R20, let's give it another try and see what we're going to get. And we are almost there. So previous score again, 3,574. So just with that tiny little overclock, we already got around what 200-ish, 250-ish extra points towards the Cinebench. Not bad at all. And CPU still keeping relatively cool. With the max we reached was 74 degrees. Firestrike with our GPU overclock and then also with our CPU overclock. Let's check it out. Okay, then for our combined test. Still GPU running at 1,700 megahertz, 100 more than last time. CPU again, 4.4 gigahertz. Same, still pretty cool. It is open again. We're gonna put it later, the case later on, tempered glass for our thermals, but doesn't look too bad. Now let's quickly check the scores and see how it compares to the previous. All right, so we are back. Now my microphone cut out, so I lost around 20 minutes of recording, but it's fine. Luckily, don't really have to redo everything. But let's quickly go back into 3D Mark's Firestrike. We just did our overclock recording benchmark. So first up, for our overall score, we had 18,823 compared to the 17,215. Quite a nice upgrade, around what 1,600 points. For our graphics score, we had 21,969 compared to 20,028. Also almost 2,000 points here. And again, that was just with our GPU overclock. Now for our CPU, we had 19,964 for our physics against 19,005. Again, almost 1,000 points there as well. And then for our combined score, we had 8,716 compared to 7,844. Also around 1,900-ish points there, which is not bad, just free extra performance right there with no extra cost. All right, so that was it for our just quick benchmark on Cinebench and 3D Mark. Now let's get into the gaming benchmarks. And I already did that, so that happened yesterday. You guys don't have to wait for anything like that. Now, all of these benchmarks are with the overclocks applied, and pretty much all of the more competitive games that you actually want to play at a high frame rate is able to play at a high frame rate. So Siege 300 FPS, Apex just below that 144 Hertz at 138, and Call of Duty at 148. So all of the games was also set on pretty much their max graphics settings. Of the ones that matter did deliver high frame rates, and again that was on pretty much ultra settings. All right, but now let's quickly do a Crystal Disk benchmark again and see what performance we get with our PCI Express 4.0 NVMe SSD. And again, this is also a 1 terabyte version. Around almost half is currently being used. So it is going to be just a tiny bit slower compared to if you have a fresh install. Usually you want to have a fresh install to show the ultimate performance that you can get with your SSD. But there we go, just 7 megabytes a second under, well, 5.5 megabytes a second below 5 gigabytes a second. That's not bad. So let's quickly let it finish up and then check the final results. All right, so Crystal Disk benchmark is done. Again, almost 5 gigabytes a second here. That's crazy. Now, of course, Crystal Disk benchmark isn't necessarily the best benchmarking tool for your SSDs, but you can do it at home as well, test yours and see how it compares up, because I can for certainly tell you that for most of you, it's not gonna be this fast. Even for my systems, it's not this fast. So yeah, I'm definitely quite a bit jealous there. So performance is really good on Synthetics. Let's quickly do a copy and paste test as well. So this is what I usually do if I do my SSD benchmarks, where I take a 38 gig Steam backup and then just duplicate it, copy and paste it on the same drive and see what performance we get. So 1.3, well, almost 1.4 gigabytes a second. Again, writing, copying to the same drive as well. So it's doing both read and write. That is not bad. And again, this is also with our SSD also already being quite full at almost half. Definitely not bad. Now I'm gonna put the final time down here somewhere on the screen, so we'll check how long that actually takes. But 700, 800 megabytes a second, definitely not going to be an issue if you quickly want to paste something over. All right, now as for our cooling, now I already did that yesterday as well with our overclocks applied and also on our stock settings. But firstly, for all of the cooling, again, you do have 3 addressable RGB fans here at the front, which does have a max RPM of 1400, and then also same goes for the one here at the back. Now, they're pretty much stuck there. The reason why I had to put this one off because it was kind of blowing onto the microphone, which was a bit loud. But it definitely does help out with some of the cooling. And if you do put the PC underneath your desk or at the top and moving it a bit toward the back, you shouldn't be able to hear it that much. But as for our thermals with the side panel on and then also the back fan on, I did run a 30-minute AIDA64 stress test, again, both on our stock settings and then also with the overclock applied. And with our stock settings at 4.1 gigahertz, the CPU only reached around 75 degrees, also with our fans on also, so it wasn't running at full blast. However, when I applied that 4.4 gigahertz overclock, again at 1.375 volts, the CPU only reached 73 degrees, 2 degrees lower. However, that was with all of the fans running at max RPM, so it was quite a bit loud. But it was quite cool as well, 73 degrees at 4.4 gigahertz on all 6 cores. Definitely not an issue, and I was actually quite surprised, not only at the cooler, but the CPU as well, saying actually quite cool. Nice thing about Ryzen. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my benchmark video of the ASUS TUF Gaming and also Seagate giveaway PC that ASUS is doing. So to the winner, congratulations. I don't know who that is yet, but congratulations. I do hope you enjoy the system because it's going to deliver you quite a nice gaming experience. And I, and probably a lot of people as well, is going to be quite a bit jealous because yeah, it's definitely nice with that 3600X, again running at 4.4 gigahertz, that RX 5600 XT delivering really good gaming performance, and then also just that super fast PCI Express 4.0 Seagate FireCuda, not Barracuda anymore, FireCuda 512, almost 5 gigabytes per second. That's crazy fast. But yeah, again, that's pretty much it. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Big thanks to ASUS and Seagate for sending this system over for this video. It's been a while since I did like a benchmark PC video, so it was nice to try it out again. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, and comment like always. Also, I will try to leave all of the links in the video description if you want to get some of the parts or maybe everything. It'll be down there. And to the person who wins the PC, again, congratulations, and I do hope you enjoy your time with it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will check all of you next time. Cheers, guys.